Coming up on today's Cowboys Nation News, we're diving into a series of pressing updates surrounding the Dallas Cowboys as they prepare for the upcoming season. First on the docket is the Luke Schoonmaker injury, a situation that as of now remains shrouded in uncertainty. He left practice Tuesday night with what has been officially termed a to-be-determined injury. The team is expected to have more information following their late-night practice on Wednesday, but the broader picture is one of a squad that continues to battle multiple injuries as the preseason progresses. The Cowboys are facing a challenging time in terms of health, with several players dealing with significant setbacks. Brevin Spanforward has been dealing with an ankle injury. Sadiq Charles is managing a knee issue. Tyler Gayton's knee problem puts him into a questionable status for Week 1. And Ernest Brown's specific injury hasn't been disclosed, though he did not participate in practice on Tuesday night, according to Nick Harris. On top of that, Marvin Overshawn is managing a nagging issue, and the cornerback room is particularly thin, with 5 players currently sidelined. Kalen Carson is questionable for Week 1 with an ankle injury. Christian Matthew is battling a groin issue, and Trayvon Diggs, Savon Revel, and Josh Butler are all expected to be unavailable. The depth concerns, particularly at key positions such as cornerback and tight end, highlight the fragility of the roster as the team heads into the final stretch of the preseason. Focusing on Schoonmaker, he remains a player with potential, particularly as a blocking tight end, though he has not yet fully lived up to the expectations set for a second-round pick. Last season saw moments of improvement, but in general, he has struggled to reach the impact level anticipated when he was drafted. This early in training camp, however, he gained more visibility largely because Brevin Spanford has missed significant time due to injury, allowing Schoonmaker to step into the second tight end role by default. At Tuesday night's practice, he even received some reps with the first team, though these were mostly within the context of run-blocking packages with Jake Ferguson seeing more involvement in passing situations. At this point, there's no need for fans to panic, as Schoonmaker's role remains viable, and he's likely to continue contributing, especially if the team leans more heavily into 2 tight end formations. However, with both he and Spanford dealing with injuries, the Cowboys' tight end depth is a point of concern, particularly considering the value placed on higher draft picks in this position. Overall, Schoonmaker is serviceable and potentially capable of improvement, but the injury situation warrants close monitoring. Fans are encouraged to weigh in on their concern for his status, rating it from 1 to 10 in the context of overall team health. Turning to Jaden Blue, the good news is that he returned to practice on Tuesday night, maintaining a trend that suggests he will be ready for the preseason finale. This is significant because up to this point, the Cowboys have yet to see him in meaningful game action following his early season injury. His presence on the field will allow fans and coaches alike to assess his abilities in live scenarios. Even though the third preseason game typically sees limited participation from key starters, practice reports indicate a pecking order emerging among the running backs, with Javonte Williams receiving 6 carries, Jaden Blue and Miles Sanders 4, Deuce Vaughn 3, and Phil Maffa and Malik Davis 1 apiece, highlighting the team's current approach to workload management and depth evaluation until further adjustments are made. These numbers suggest the rotation is set for the foreseeable future, with Blue's participation in the upcoming game providing an important data point for the coaching staff. Observers are eagerly anticipating the chance to see Blue contribute, potentially offering glimpses of explosive plays that could influence the backfield hierarchy. The conversation around trades and roster adjustments has also gained momentum. Jalen Tolbert's name has resurfaced amid speculation, with multiple reports indicating that several teams are actively exploring the wide receiver market. The San Francisco 49ers, New York Jets, and Minnesota Vikings are among those seeking reinforcements due to injuries or other roster needs. Tolbert, who was the second option last season for the Cowboys, recorded 49 catches for 610 yards and 7 touchdowns, a respectable output that underscores his potential value to other teams. While some may argue that other receivers like Alingo or Holden could be considered for trade, Tolbert's established production and draft pedigree make him a more realistic candidate, particularly given concerns over injuries to key players such as Mingo. There is a strategic argument that the Cowboys may be less inclined to trade Tolbert if their other receiving options are limited, ensuring sufficient depth for the season opener. Fans are encouraged to weigh in on their perspective, indicating whether they would trade Tolbert, and if so, under what circumstances. In terms of trade value, Tolbert is realistically pegged at a mid to late day 3 draft pick, reflecting a balance between his experience and the short-term nature of his role. While some jokes circulate about trading him for a first-round pick, the practical scenario favors smaller compensation, perhaps combined with a player swap, which could benefit the Cowboys in positions of immediate need. Possible trade targets could include defensive tackles or corners, such as Derek Nandi from the Jets, Jordan Elliott from the 49ers, or Taki Taimani from Minnesota, providing reinforcement where injuries have left gaps. The logic of trading from a position of relative depth to address weaker spots aligns with effective roster construction, even if it requires careful negotiation. Fans are invited to consider which realistic players they would target in such trades, fostering engagement and discussion around team-building strategies. Meanwhile, Brian Schottenheimer has hinted at the potential for surprise cuts, though his comments should be tempered by the awareness that coaches often engage in strategic communication, blending genuine insight with general statements. He noted that roster decisions will follow the conclusion of Friday's game, emphasizing a process of information gathering before making definitive moves. While he acknowledged the possibility of surprises compared to mock projections, much of this may simply reflect standard coach speak, ensuring the team retains flexibility and protects internal evaluations. Observers have speculated on candidates who could be affected, including Miles Sanders, whose earlier camp performance suggested a chance at a lead-back role, but who has yet to consistently impress. Other potential names include Motzie Smith, Peyton Turner, and even Kenneth Murray, each representing varying degrees of surprise and financial considerations. These evaluations reflect a mixture of performance, roster needs, and contractual obligations, with the final decisions likely revealing a combination of expected and unexpected outcomes. The world of professional football is buzzing with excitement and incredulity as the news broke that SAQUON Barkley, the electrifying running back long associated with the New York Giants, has officially joined the Dallas Cowboys, now sporting the iconic blue and silver. Rumors had swirled for weeks about Barkley's potential move, with fans speculating about trades and free agency maneuvers, but no one expected the confirmation to arrive so suddenly. Analysts are dissecting what this could mean for both franchises, especially considering Barkley's history of injuries and the incredible potential he carries when fully healthy. The Cowboys front office has remained tight-lipped about the contract specifics, but insiders hint that it might involve performance-based incentives, making Barkley's impact on the field even more critical. Social media erupted almost immediately, with hashtags trending, fan reactions ranging from ecstatic to skeptical, and endless debates over whether this move will solidify Dallas as a Super Bowl contender or represent a high-risk gamble. From sports bars to living rooms, the chatter is relentless, with enthusiasts revisiting Barkley's highlights, his trademark speed, agility, and vision, imagining him slicing through the Cowboys' offensive line, while others consider how his presence may reshape team dynamics and locker room hierarchies. The atmosphere is electric, as if a seismic shift has occurred in the league's balance of power. Speculation surrounding Barkley's transition has been fueled not only by his undeniable talent, but also by his journey as an athlete. Fans recall his standout performances with the Giants, where he demonstrated an uncanny ability to evade tackles, break long runs, and contribute as a versatile offensive weapon. The Cowboys, known for their strategic acquisitions, seem to have recognized that securing Barkley could provide a dual benefit, bolstering their running game while creating matchup nightmares for opponents forced to account for his explosive capabilities. Rumors suggest that coaching staff members are already envisioning new offensive schemes tailored to maximize Barkley's strengths, perhaps integrating misdirection plays, screen passes, and zone read options to exploit defensive vulnerabilities. Sports commentators speculate about how Barkley's arrival could influence rookie development, veteran morale, and even the team's overall approach to game preparation. Fans in Dallas are reportedly lining up for jerseys, while Giants supporters oscillate between mourning the loss and marveling at Barkley's ability to command attention in a new environment. The airwaves are filled with debates, mock simulations, and fantasy football recalculations as the football universe recalibrates around this surprising but undeniably intriguing development. Barkley's arrival in Dallas might also be seen through the lens of legacy and career trajectory. Some insiders speculate that the running back sees this move as a way to redefine his narrative, transitioning from the challenges he faced with injuries to a rejuvenated chapter in a storied franchise known for its championship pedigree. Analysts suggest that Barkley's commitment to rigorous training,